Hey, Dove, how's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Let's hop right in. Okay. So, what do you see Shopify brands doing differently this BFCM?
The biggest difference I would say is that promo started a month ago. And what I mean by that is usually, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, promotions have been creeping into it was mid-November, then early November. I saw brands unleash their full BFCM promo starting in October. I saw them pull it back down, and then I'm seeing them even relaunch it this week. So I think that presents an interesting challenge for a lot of brands who maybe don't have the product catalogs of an Amazon or a Walmart or, massive, massive retailer. But I think this is honestly really much more of a reaction to where consumer sentiment has been for the past couple months and like where tight consumer wallets are today. And so what I would heavily encourage everybody to do is, if you're planning on launching a couple days early, your promo, pull it up weeks. If you're considering launching next week, like launch, I don't know, it's Thursday, launch Monday. I think what I've been seeing, what I've been hearing from talking with a lot of brands that we work with and just my greater network is sales are booming during promotions and sales are just non-ex or revenue, I should say, is non-existent when there isn't a promotion attached. And so I just think consumers are really cash strapped looking for value and they're going to be looking for value the entire, I just put it to really as like January 2025 when everybody's also done with their, what I will call their gifting budget. And
Mhm.
so really thinking through how can you, if you're running an offer, how can you really rev it up and juice it? The other thing to think about is just like, the truly whale spenders in this space, the Targets, the Walmarts, the you name it. Like, they've been spending more money, but they will just unload their budgets because they have to in that really like 1 week, 2 weeks around the FCM. So when you think also about like where you can have some relative CAC and where you can like, it should be cheaper. The other reason I recommend it is also in the US, the elections just ended and the political spending is out of the system. And so you have this little bit of a deficit there where in the next 2 weeks, CPMs will be, well, probably week, I should say. CPMs will be cheaper until the really big retailers go and spend aggressively again. And then in December, after they finish their holiday budgets, you'll see that kind of bounce back again. And so you really want to think about just like how can you be creative because otherwise, CPMs have already gone vertical. They probably are not going to go down a lot from here, but anywhere you can get a cheap buy. It's actually very funny that like brands should be thinking about cheap buys on the media side, this exact same way that consumers are thinking about cheap buys from brands.
That's awesome. So it's from that perspective, it's less about the timing and more about the deal. So if you're kind of, oh, I mean, it's about the timing, but bring it early. It's not like I'm gonna wait until, the end of November to make my purchases. It's like, oh, if I see a deal, in early November, October, whatever, I'm just gonna do that, which is interesting because
Yeah.
it kind of eats into the personal budget, which they might be spent out by the time the big brands start coming in there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think certain customers will save certain budgets for certain items, but I think the whole concept of like exclusive deals only happening on certain days just doesn't exist anymore. And I think that everybody who's still trying, I think if you have a scarcity of an actual product, like something that, people really, really want and has high demand, I think you can really lean into that strategy. But if your major strategy is around discounting promotions and a good offer, consumer, we have collectively ruined the it's only going to happen on one day. It's super exclusive and scarce. Like you're only going to get good deals if you buy in this very, definitive time frame. Now consumers are just expecting, the holidays. I mean, I don't know. I saw pumpkin spice lattes and pumpkin spice stuff in New York, which is usually the signal of fall, start in July. And so like we're all just extending all of these seasons to be so long that really I think what a lot of brands should be doing, and I'm seeing a bunch of brands I know in the space like flip their sales live this week as well, is they're just going longer. And then it's going to be just how can you really creatively push traffic through that funnel to just juice sales as much as possible.
Amazing. Okay, so next up, what are three things that brands need to do this BFCM to increase their AOV?
Yeah, so this is the simplest and most valuable thing every brand should be doing, and I don't know why brands don't do this. So the first one is what I call the like candy counter on your store, right? Someone comes to your store, you get them to a product page, they add something to cart. I'll give a free one. This is a fourth one. You should automatically be adding some sort of upsell in cart that is high. gross margin, low price point, relevant to the product, right? If I'm going on and adding a $100 hoodie on your site, I should not be seeing a $1,400 jacket. I should be seeing like a $20 t-shirt or something that like is an easy add-on. This is the actual tip though. In the cart, sorry, in the checkout, like literally where I'm plugging in my shipping and my checkout and my billing and all that other information, if you're on Shopify Plus, you can customize that checkout to put in another offer right there. And that's why I call it like a candy counter. Impulse purchase, super simple. I don't have to think about it. No product variants, widely applicable. Like, for holidays specifically, it should be a stocking stuffer. Something that, I gotta get a work friend, a gift for a party, whatever, a Secret Santa, white elephant, whatever you're gonna go do. But it's 15 bucks. It's something that's like pretty widely, like, it's easy. I don't have to like put a lot of thought into it. Simple purchase. Why this really matters is if you do both of those things really well in checkout and then also in cart, you'll have super low take rates. Like 5 to 10% is great. And you'll be really excited about that. Why it matters is you spent no additional marketing dollars. And if you pick two high gross margin products, you can discount them aggressively 20, 30, 50% off if you take this in the checkout and it's a one-time offer. But it adds an insane amount of margin post your COGS and your ad spend onto your P&L. And so you can move a lot of inventory that isn't your hero products that may not be your best sellers, but it adds a really thick layer of margin that when you're already discounting so many things so heavily down, this can be the difference between, we eke out barely a profit on our offer once we consider ad spend and everything else, to we have a nice healthy margin, 5, 10, 20% that we can actually go use and recycle that cash or, for everybody who actually wants to put some of that profit into their pocket, do that. So that would be the first one, right? Right. Really optimize those things. Part two, best practices is to exclude all of your previous purchasers from your email and SMS into the campaigns you send for the rest of the holiday period. While you do that, create a flow in whatever email and SMS provider you're using. I call this the Ezra Firestone, and send them another promotion. Hey, we love you. Thank you so much. You're our best customers. Here's another offer. I know this technically isn't AOV, but if you think about it, that same customer, X percentage of them will take an offer. And it's actually a very interesting, like recurring thing where, 100 customers buy, maybe 10 to 20% take the first offer. You can actually do it over and over and over again, and you'll find like this very small percentage of customers might actually spend thousands of dollars from your store if you just keep giving them offers and keep giving them stuff to buy. So just because people buy, don't just put them on ice, right? Like if you send better offers, you obviously can't send the better offer to the customer who just made a purchase because your CS team is going to hate you. But what you can do is you can exclude them out and just send them a different variation, a gift with purchase, a little bit of an extra incentive, some other thing that's like, okay, I'm excited about this. My credit card's already out, right? I already made the decision to buy, and now I'm gonna go buy more. And this is the time of year where just you're gonna have so much traffic and volume through your site that it's irresponsible not to do this because setting up a flow in whatever email tool you use, which is honestly really simple. It's basically just cloning your post-purchase flow and tweaking it for the holiday, which please do that also as well. But right, if you just do that, you're already going to make more. Where I'm going to twist your question of a profit per customer. And so I
Mhm.
think that's the really important and really big second piece. The third piece, it's a little late for this, so you could do this as what I would call a soft bundle. It's gonna be hard to like take pictures and merchandise this, is just create another bundle on what you offer. And if you have a lot of what I would call like hero SKU or single purchase products, coffee, beauty cosmetics, things that I buy that I maybe don't buy 17 things from you. Just give me an offer to go buy more of the stuff. Let me go stock up for 6 months on coffee by buying, some incredible offer like that. And it's pretty easy to like put that into your site. There's a bunch of tools that do this now of just
Mhm.
essentially the like upsell bundle or the cross sell bundle. Like literally like have something on your website that is, hey, you bought our whatever hero product one, here's our hero product two. And just even if you anchor people there, they'll spend more money on the individual products because they're like, oh, I do want this, but maybe I don't want all of these things, but I'm willing to now buy the thing that I want. And it's actually a way that a lot of retailers protect their price points on their hero products is
Mhm.
we present, you see a lot of furniture brands, home good brands do this a lot where it's like, you're buying a kit, you're buying a set, you're buying coffee brands. Also, when you sell like machinery, do this a lot, like you're buying the bundle. And then, hey, actually, I really just want that thing in there. You may not have to actually discount that down as much, or even if you end up doing it because it's probably simpler at this point in the year to just, shoot shoot first, aim later. Like you can just sell a lot more stuff because the people who do take the bundle, you'll have a higher gross margin per purchase. And why that's super important is that even if you keep, let's say that you have an average of like a 50% gross margin, if a customer comes in and they're going to buy something for $100, you're going to keep $50. But if we get our combined gross margin, if we get a combined purchase to $200, even with a deep discount, you're now getting them to spend $100. And that $50 difference between scenario A and scenario B is a difference between you can go spend $20 to $30 more in CAC. You can go give other types of incentives. You can go give all of these different things. And it's a really great way to just be able to go spend more money by blending your margins up because not everybody's going to take the bundle. Not everybody's going to take your specific offer. But even just getting 10, 20% of the customers that you're bringing to spend that higher amount of money, it shifts your entire economics up that you can go and spend a lot more money doing a lot of other things across your stack.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. And here's kind of the last one. Unfortunately, we're short on time, but so what would you think is kind of the best piece of advice if we're talking about simplicity, right? We covered simplicity, we covered the importance of profit. What's the best advice that you have for brands going into Black Friday?
Yeah, don't stop and don't have your plans to stop, be Black Friday or Christmas. The one thing that I've been banging the drum on now for 5 years that all the smart brands get, and I really hope everybody else like piles on here, push into Q5. Keep promoting, keep selling. If you have, as long as you have inventory in stock, keep going until about, I'm going to call it January 20th, very generously. It always shifts a little bit. The biggest mistake I see everybody make is they go and they burn through all their inventory, they burn through all their ads, and they're kind of just like, all right, I'm done at the end of the year. This was also the past couple years have been rough years. And right, like, we're just gonna finish and whatever last shipping cutoff is for Christmas, we're done. We're gonna pack it up and then pick the things back up in the next year. That is the biggest mistake I always see. If you just think about it from the customer perspective, yes, I have a big run up to the holidays and I think Christmas is the easiest date to use. So let's just use to Christmas because it was also pretty much the end of the year. But then I'm flush with a bunch of cash. I just got a bunch of gift cards and money and gifts that I want to return. I'm going to go spend a week doing all of that. And then if you think about, especially Christmas is pretty late this year, think about when that coincides. That also then I'm flush with cash of all this gifting stuff going into New Year. So I know Nick was talking about like, right, like they're making a big push around New Year, New Me. It's not just fitness or I think like wellness brands today, but everybody's making New Year's resolutions. Everybody wants to better themselves in the new year. If you can figure out how to tie your offer and your product into, just generally being a better person and doing new things or exciting things in a new year, go all in on that. Same point above, elections done in November. Big retailers finish their annual budgets mid-December, early, let's call it early December.
Mhm.
Nobody's spending money in December and early January for CPMs to go really cheap again for you to go sell a lot more products. And then also to complicate it a little bit, if you really build that up, you have a solid cash flow to get you through Lunar New Year next year if you produce in China. To then, okay, we're now picking things back up in March, April, where we're really flush with cash because now we had about 4 months of really great sales.
Yeah.
We sold through all of our inventory. We worked everything out with trying to be ready, and then we're moving into late Q1, early Q2. Really
Mhm.
flush with cash. We pay our taxes, and then we kick off into summer.
Awesome. Awesome. Jeremy, where can people find you?
Yeah, easiest place, LinkedIn, Jeremy Horowitz, my name right there, Horowitz. If any of this was helpful, I try to post twice a day, stuff like this.